We got a Q&A.
Yep, we've got one question for you. This is from Unnecessary Fan.
The completely unnecessary fan.
Is this a fucking plant?
No, it's not, Ian.
All right. Well, the Unnecessary Fan would like to
It's
know,
not a plant.
what was it like working with James Rolfe again for the Combat video? Are there any other YouTubers you'd like to collaborate with, or those you'd avoid?
I think that's a nice question. Those I'd like to avoid. Yeah, I want to start a bunch of beef with a bunch of YouTubers. When it comes to collaborations, I think what some creators not ignore but don't care about is, do styles actually mesh together to work together? You know, there's some people that just don't work well together because they have different styles of videos. Doesn't mean that they both don't do good content, either one, but they don't work well together. I work well with James because I think we have sort of similar sense of humor. But the story about this Combat video, which just came out, Combat, that's on YouTube, was I had written a much more intensive script idea that me and James have been thinking about for a few years, that this is for Too Many Games 2018. So we shot that right after Too Many Games 2018, a year and a half ago, Ian, just like Toys R Us going out of business. About the same exact time, actually. It was. And so I had this idea that was too grandiose. And whenever I see James, like once a year, James is nice enough to say, like this year I shot the rental reviews for Predator. And then another one, I won't say what I shot for yet. And so he's nice enough to put aside a day to do it. So I got to write something we can shoot in a day, in like 6 hours. And so my idea was not something you can shoot in 6 hours. Would have taken like 2 or 3 days, probably. So I said, I can't waste his time. He's willing to do a video with me. He lets me write for the nerd character. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. He allows me to do that. So literally the Sunday night at my parents' after Too Many Games, and that Monday, part of that Monday, I wrote the script to this Combat video in about a day. And it came out well enough, and we shot it. And it's interesting because I'm not sure what it was. I think mainly James wanted to do it because it was a goofy throwaway line from the original NWC video, Combat. Remember that video?
Yes.
So it was originally an ad-lib thing we sort of came up with. That it's expanded into its own thing, and said let's put an end cap on the whole Combat thing by doing a whole dumb video about it. And that's basically what happened. And I have to thank Yoshi Vu for doing the awesome effects on that video, just because those are Hollywood level effects. You just saw it.
Oh yeah, Major Combat is awesome.
Major Combat's adorable. We can sell figures of them probably too, unless Atari in France comes after us. It came out. It just came out. It came out better than I thought it would, just because how quickly we cobbled it together, the story, and we shot it, and then it sort of evolved after the fact in post-production, because I wrote Major Combat a different way at first, a little more by the book, and I said, why don't I make him a little wacky little guy, and it sort of works better, I think. And originally Major Combat was supposed to be a giant robot. I said, it doesn't make any sense. Combat's a little guy, so he'd be a cute little guy, little Muppet looking robot, and so that's how it came out. So I'm glad that the people are enjoying it, and the comments are like, this is great. This isn't a self-flating topic, believe it or not. This is a reality topic about the fact that this video, in my mind, to do well versus the time and effort, and we'll just say mock money that went into it, this video has to do 1 million views at least for it to be, let's say, a viable YouTube content video. Because James wasn't paid to work on it. He did it as a favor for me. Obviously, I'm not paid to work on it, but I'm the creator. I'm not have to. But the amount of work that Yoshi did for this video, if he asked for cash to do it, would have been thousands of dollars probably.
Sure.
Would have been we'll just say a couple grand for the amount of work he did for the not just the robot animations, but the comm balls and the hair and glasses shot, which was incredible to do that work. And so when you think about high quality, well-produced content, YouTube's just not, unfortunately, it's not a platform where it's viable for most people anymore. It's not. And it's sort of not bittersweet, but when I do a video like this that was in the works for so long, partially because Yoshi had to have time to work on this CG. For God's sake, he's working on freaking Star Wars, and he's got to work on a dumb YouTube project on the side for me as a favor, because I'm his friend. And I was thinking about, like, if I wanted to do something like this regularly, or write something where people had input more than just me doing myself. I can't do it on YouTube. It just doesn't make any sense. The numbers don't add up.
Right.
It just doesn't. And I hope people appreciate, the fact that like I marvel that these AVGN videos still go on 13 years later, and they're more and more involved. Obviously, he has people helping them at Screenwave, but most YouTube's not for this content anymore. It hasn't been for years.
Right. It's for quick, throw it up as fast as you can content.
So it's depressing that that's the reality, but it is. You can say it's, if for content like that, you do a Kickstarter to do videos like that, so people actually get paid for their hard work. So because Video Game Years was a cold reality check for a lot of us, because the amount of effort that went into it and money, and people were doing things in the cheap. We're like, oh, this is a great show. We potentially could do something like this on real TV. And then it goes on YouTube, and then it gets some views, but not enough to support the time, money, and effort that went into it. And it is what it is. But it's done well on Amazon Prime, and I think that's what the future, I think, will be for some YouTubers. Like, if I was going to do it at Pat the NES Punk actual series, like 6 to 8 episodes, I think I'd have to look other venues, whether it was Kickstarter or just put it on Amazon Prime, or just try to sell Blu-rays of it. If it was like, I took 2 months to do 6 to 8 episodes, but you can't make the time, money back on YouTube. You just can't.
Right.
And it's depressing. I mean, you're not in this world, but it's just hard to do. Like, even people that are doing great content, like Norm, he has a healthy Patreon to help him support those videos.
Sure.
The views on YouTube alone don't support. It just can't.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's really what I want to talk about. So I'm glad everyone likes the video. Go and watch it. Ian didn't hate it.
I watched it.
I put in a little reference for you.
Yeah. What, Mappyland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
So you get a little chuckle about that?
Yes, I did.
Maybe it'll be the Mappyland in the future there. So yeah, so NES Punk stuff will still be around here and there, but I really think that, I think the way YouTube works nowadays, where I'm not complaining about The Last Jedi again. Those are videos that are easy to do and don't require other people to really help you usually, and you can get them out. You can rant about politics and get it out easily. You can rant about how Capcom screwed up. You can rant about SJWs ruining the world, and that can get views easily, and it's easy to produce. But that's not content that I want to do, obviously, and that's not worthwhile content, I think, in the long run for people to want to watch and be around. So, but that's what YouTube likes. So what are you going to do? You find the other platform. It's not create something else to match the platform. You find the audience that likes your stuff. That's my philosophy, and hopefully that'll continue in the future.